Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm Nicole and it is day 7 of this 30-day series where I'm sharing with you these diary form videos, checking in and just kind of vocalizing and talking through what has been coming up for me each and every day during these 30 days. And the premise and the reason that I'm doing this video series is to really show you in a real life example what it can look like to continually choose to live in alignment with our bodies, our internal wisdom, our intuition, our heart center, over the fear-based programming that sometimes lives in our mind. So it is day 7, which means we're 1 week into this series. And today what was coming up for me is something that has been really culminating and incubating and brewing in the background for me. And that is this nudge, this inner knowing that I am meant to live in greater connection with nature and with spirit. And what that has looked like, or felt like, I should say, in my body as of recently, is this desire, this tug, this pull, this craving to have more communion, to have more ritual, to have more ceremony, to have more intentional moments where I am communicating with the spirits, whether that be the spirit of nature, so the spirit of the flowers, the spirit of the trees, the spirit of the water, of the land, of the fire, of the air, or the Holy Spirit, God. And so I'm vocalizing this maybe for the first time, and it's been something that I've just been sitting with and kind of journaling on and really feeling into how this is meant to come into my life on a more practical level. And I think that this craving, this nudge, is really coming from the divine feminine aspect within me, which, just to go into that a little bit, the feminine is more physical, the feminine is more embodied. It's the dark, flowy, creatrix energy, whereas the masculine is more structured, more straight lines, more light, more direct and to the point. And I have been pretty good at tapping into that divine masculine aspect of myself, but I really am feeling this deep inner call to come back into harmony, into balance with my divine feminine. And this is something that I have been doing in increasing layers and amounts throughout the course of probably the past couple years or more. But it's been baby step after baby step. And right now I'm feeling this a little bit more potently, a little bit more directly. My body really craving to just come back into harmony with the earth. And this has so many layers to it, and I don't have time to go into it in these short style videos. But if you're familiar with where we are as a society, we're very much living in a patriarchy society where we are governed and ruled and living in alignment more so with our divine masculine energy. But I and so many others, other women and even men, are feeling this pull, this remembrance of what it's like to live in harmony with the earth. And the earth is very feminine. You can call her Mama Gaia, and she has this wisdom within her, this wisdom within the land. And a lot of our ancestors were tapped into that, where they were really in harmony and in resonance with the seasons and with the night versus the day, and birth versus death, and just sitting with the elements of fire, water, air, earth, talking and communing with these spirits, if you will. And so, of course, it may not look like it once did 100 years ago or so, or what our ancestors were doing in this primal way, but I know for me that my body is just feeling this deep, deep call to come back into reverence with our Mother Earth. And this is a sensation that I feel of wanting to just be in the water, held by the ocean, to swim in the rivers, to just lay in the grass. I feel so held when I lay on the earth. Having my body pressed against the earth feels so nurturing to me. And as I've been sitting with this calling and with this urge and with this craving in my meditations, it's been shown to me and becoming more clear how this is something that is necessary for me on my journey, on my path of where I am right now. And something that I wrote this morning was actually that by honoring even more so my divine feminine energy, I feel that by coming into connection with the earth, it is the step that I need to come into the dream that I have been dreaming. So I'm paraphrasing that, and it probably didn't come out as eloquently as the paragraph written in my journal. But basically, by me following this nudge and honoring this innate desire to come back into greater connection with my divine feminine energy, with nature, with the earth, and with the spirits, I'm honoring and stepping into more fully the future version of myself that is calling me forward. So when I go into meditation and I visualize and more so even feel into what my future is, it feels really embodied. And that embodied feeling doesn't just arise out of nowhere. It comes from a culmination of choosing embodiment and to really walk this path of embodiment. And I've done that a little bit. And like I said, I've been taking these baby steps and following it in the ways that I have felt comfortable to up until this point. But I'm feeling like I'm entering this new threshold, this new layer of myself that wants to go even deeper. And this morning I actually went to a pole dancing class with a local group that I'm a part of here in Sarasota. And you might hear that and think like scandalous, just like erotic, sensual, sexual movement, and you might be wondering why I went to something like that, but that's not exactly what it is. This pole dancing class was a great opportunity for me to feel into my body, to be in practice, being more embodied in my body and being aware of my body and how my body moves and how my body feels and how my body can stretch and the strength of my body, the flexibility of my body, what my body looks like and feels like when I am moving it in a really conscious way. And it was fun. It was fun to play and to spin and to twirl and to just have that safe space to practice being in my body in a safe container of sisterhood. And so I'm really happy that I went to that this morning. Of course, I had a little bit of nervousness going into it, more so just because I had no idea what to expect. But after doing it, I'm so glad that I did. And I feel like it is a perfect addition to what I'm feeling right now. And what came up for me in my journal practice, like I read for you, is choosing this, and I'm gonna get fun with it. I'm gonna allow myself to have fun with it by doing new moon rituals and full moon rituals and having more cacao ceremonies where I'm really conscious with it. I love making homemade cacao elixirs where you take the actual cacao bars and I like to like shave them down and then I put them into whatever milk of choice and I add cinnamon and nutmeg and a little bit of cayenne and pure maple syrup. And to do that more consciously, even by putting my heart intentions into it and really sitting with the medicine that is cacao that comes from nature, and just fun things like that where I can talk to the spirit of the water, the spirit of the air, and use this as a way to deepen my prayers and deepen my connection with the Holy Spirit. So that's what's coming up for me currently on day 7, 1 week into this 30-day series. And if you're feeling anything similar, I'd love to hear what's coming up for you after maybe tuning into these videos for a week. What has been coming up for you? I'd love to hear. I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 8.